Glad to see you stopped keeping to yourself and are actually helping these days. That's a gnote. Easy prey for Lupa-Lupin. For everyone else, they're a perfect mount and easily tamed if they are kept fed. The plague that's ruining the land needs to be stopped. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that Mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on rails with smokestacks that fouled the air. They can carry you anywhere you like, well, anywhere that they go to, and then you can leg it from there. You're on the right track. Keep your eyes open. You lack key energy for that. Chop it up. Hot metal. Every little bit helps. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. Bomper Bonker's busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. You're bruised. What you do here matters to you and the world. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. Let's see. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. He hopes you remember that one time he taught you to upcycle, and hopes you've had some use for it over the years. Gizmo says he also has re-memories from the long gone, but unlike you, he doesn't think of the past, for it's gone. He understands history made Lupa Lupin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo encourages that. You should forgive, but never forget. It'll provide some comfort to your soul and keep the memory of lost loved ones in your heart.
Fan that flame!
Beat out that spark before it starts.
It was so young, so fragile. It had so much to give.
Better to take it down now while you still can.
Fire catches. Eventually.
Would like to know if you ever doubt the choices you made on the path that brought you to this point. Would you have been happier going in a different direction? Figures you're either a rare person or a good liar. Maybe both. Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seemed so centered and so seeking. Thinks that's more than most are. It's hard to keep to a path like that. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone, so you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. It's the part of the land that suffered most from the apocalypse. It's deprived of oxygen, making it next to impossible for anything but creatures that were most contorted by the contamination. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. That's the leftover you're looking for. Breathe. Keep breathing. Ooh, a biohazard like that can make you real sick. So fast. Every day is a new chance to fulfill your destiny.
Sit up.
He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. Something he devised to salvage valuables from the ground. There are usually spots hidden beneath puddles of oily goo where you can use the net. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the jumbo puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find scripts. Gizmo thinks he's a little peculiar, but very knowledgeable. He has the ins and outs of all monster and creature whereabouts. Finally, a bit of glow. The grease monkey's Mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to.
Potse. Inmo. Diava. Darin mianda kakun eversöhnet.
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be.
Eversöhnet.
Says a monster hunter hears many things on the wind.
Vaksan u intabadan kamaklai.
Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes.
Dalemayak.
Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make.
Guhu.
You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care.
Mushtakabalat no kondonash. Mich. Waksan donya inan machamale.
It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss.
Guhu.
When it comes to monsters, he mostly picks who dies.
Guhu. Munteo mastola.
Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot. Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead.
Ecinie, inta padam faurujudo.
Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights and they keep putting up new ones.
Ecinie,
He's afraid you're just as stubborn as them.
jamakuda horedatunka.
But enough of that, right?
Jamakuda horedatunka, badya analome.
He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed.
Gar,
He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output.
mansela van bestilka.
Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short.
Baran udina mama. Gar,
Thinks that it all hangs on the tree of life. When it started to fail, everything changed. Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter.
owaksu.
Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big.
Como uno shala fitidlo.
There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes.
Zene ne naftenen.
Says it's not far at all. Fortunately for you, the squips seem to have acclimatized themselves to the otherwise uninhabitable dead zone. Settle in for the ride. Wait, it's the scrip hole-up. Place is just filled with critters. Gross. This place stinks. Need the right key? Once the volatilization from the nuclear waste evaporated, a volatile gas rose through the soil and infested structures, even Toxanol's own buildings. So, in a way, they caused their own death. This is all about you. Whether you succeed or fail, it's on you. Oh, idea. Go knock the lid off that sludge truck. It'll fill the place up and you can get up to that entrance there. A critter for you. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the... Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Feels good to be alive. Smell that burning fuel. Sure you know how to motivate this? He says that's enough scripts to sustain the Mekton's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. It's not his cleanest invention so far, but it gets the job done. Use it to suck up gooey oil puddles in the Mekton's way so you can pass. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The Mekton will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now, otherwise he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. He asks you to not even think about taking on the Jumbo Puff on foot. You'll need the Mekton to do the job. Take his word for it. There's time to improve the Mekton before you confront the Puff. There are more wreck boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the Mekton with on your own. He got the idea to build the Mekton when he found a big crate containing the metal frame for something Toxanol had named an exoskeleton. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Has plenty to do, so no worries. Daytime is a good time to be outside. Imagine that. You could just go to a place like this to get a proper meal back in the old world. Time to walk on your own legs. You'll get another chance to shout someday. Skronky Stomper. Boom, boom. There's a place and time for everything, but for that city scenario, it's already come and gone. Bang Shelter 7B is still there, open and ready to shelter. switched off the lights. Wonder what you can find down here. That's not too bad. Why walk on your own legs? It's not stairs, but it'll do. Let's see. Hey, a mount has no gears to grind. Let's see. Such a bright day to wander around in. So much better than legging it. What's a jumbo puff with an appetite? Ain't no fuzz. Better put an end to it before it ends our world. Uh-oh, the jumbo puff is kicking it up a notch. It's time for an electric performance. Bad feeling about this. It goes all the way down to the stomach. Start like a snack, and you'll end up with a ride down the intestinal canal. That's too close to the end station. Better move up and away, or be swept out the bowel way. What a super-sized whirlwind! That much of Taurus is pumping it. Who would have guessed it would go down with a throw-up? Can it really get any better than that? You see, it's what's on the inside that counts. That meaty Taurus is already offbeat. End it. He thanks you for dealing with the first World Eater. It's a start. You should go see Out of Date and find out what you can about the machine he's named the Ark. You're good-hearted enough, so you'll have no problem getting him to share the information with you. He trusts you know where to find Out of Date by now. He's always been at the foot of the tree, and that hasn't changed. Heroes make for the best stories. It's up to you if you want to be one. Gizmo will always make time for you. Says you used to keep to yourself, but now at least you act. You're one with the Ankati tribe in terms of karma, However, when an element is overemphasized, the natural harmony is out of balance. Has plenty to do, so no worries. Gizmo will always make time for you. Says you should take it easy.